that's been my experience too, just talking to people at work who are, I guess you could say, almost uneducated on the home birth scenarios. And it seems like maybe it's the age, but it seems like a lot of babies are popping out these days. And so, especially at work, a lot of my colleagues are just saying, like, everybody seems to have a different story, but everybody has, at least this year, has had the same stories. There's always been a complication. And maybe it's just because it's been their first baby, so it's just all new to them. But it seems to be like, oh, there's one doctor, and they've all been at the hospital. It's like there's one doctor, and then there was 10 doctors in the room, right? And then things just started to perpetuate and speed up, and it was getting out of control.
Snowball.
And so snowball, right? And so I think
that's an interesting perspective, and in fact, that's what the evidence seems to be saying, and we're still trying to understand this, because what Patty Jansen found when she looked at these different groups is that even the same midwives. So you have the same midwives. You'd think that their circle of comfort would be the same. Their skills are the same. It's the same person. But when that same midwife was in the home or went to the hospital, the women would have more interventions in the hospital. It's hard when you have a whole community who are choosing one option, and that'll be true when your parents do. It's not even about just home birth. We're talking about home birth today, but do you carry your baby all the time or not? Do you, sleep train them or not? Do you sleep? So you'll have to make those decisions yourself. So what works for your family? Think about, in a more global thing, what your goals are and your philosophy about it. We've got some books around that. But, I think that maybe talking to people we can put you in touch with people who have had both types of experiences and understand. There's quite a lot of literature also about why people choose home birth and what they say afterwards, what their preference, and usually the words are things like privacy, autonomy, empowerment, that they feel like they could lead the decision making, that they felt relationship-based care was important, having their families involved. Some people talk about spirituality and cultural congruency, that they can do the rituals that are important to them. Some people just talk about the convenience, if they have an older child and they don't want to wake the child up, or they don't want to decide when to go, or they don't want to be in the car when they're in labor, and other people who have a number of children and feel like only if they go to the hospital can they get 2 days of rest afterwards, right? So, and because they have maybe a partner who's not as involved, in care, or they don't have a network of community members to support. So, it truly, when we're talking about sort of equal across birthplaces, it should be individualized to what works for you and your family. It's not like home birth is always the answer or hospital birth is always the answer. Do you have any other questions?
That was just the big one for me. Just the comments on 10 doctors rushing in the room. I guess the fear with me was
you feel anxious. Is that what I'm understanding?
I think so. I think because at a home, and I'm on the fence either way as far as home birth or anything. We still need to discuss it, I guess. But I feel like having so many people, and kind of similar, echoing what you were saying before, having so many people in the room, almost mob mentality. Like, would medication be given where it wouldn't normally be given if we're at home? If that makes sense. Would it just be
so the question? Let me make sure that I understand. The question is would something that she would need, that was a good medication to give, be given? Or are you asking, might Louise get something that she didn't really need?
That would be my fear, right?
The latter.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would just, as you get so many people in the one room, decisions get skewed.
And you may not be as involved in that decision.
And then, like she said earlier, don't want to regret anything either, right? So, just something to think about, I guess.
I think that those are valid questions, and I think it's difficult to predict what will happen. Even if you plan a home birth, you might need to go to the hospital, and so those are questions to explore, even if that happens, right? And to make sure that some people will write a birth plan, some people will make it very clear with their midwives what's most important to preserve. I really want to hold the baby right away. I really don't want to be disturbed. I really want music. I really don't want people talking while I'm pushing, or I want to be able to be upright when I'm, pushing, or I want a sign to be on the door that no extraneous people. Though you're in control of that. This is your birth, and I think wherever you deliver, thinking through those kinds of style things is important, so that your provider your midwife or doctor can help you preserve those things that are most important. And just because one thing happens doesn't mean you have to throw the rest of the birth plan out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess that would be the fear, right?
Yeah. You want to have feel like you have an advocate or whatnot.